Hello, my guitar addicted friends. Sayonara 6-string here, back again with another terribly irresponsible purchase. I got the Epiphone 1959 Les Paul Standard here in Iced Tea Burst. Of course, this is $1,299. We'll talk a little bit about that. This is the Inspired by Gibson custom line with the Gibson open book style headstock, of course. This also comes in factory burst and tobacco burst. In fact, when this came out about a month ago or so, those were the first two colors available. I was waiting around for the iced tea burst. Came available like in the last week and a half. I suddenly found it on Amazon, of all places. I was like, yeah, I'll get it. Came here in a couple of days. They also come in washed cherry sunburst, which is only available exclusive on the Epiphone site, interestingly. Pretty cool color. And Epiphone is calling this the more authentic than ever Epiphone 1959, saying that this is closest to the actual Gibson 1959, so we'll talk about that as well. To me, this looks more honeyburst than iced tea. Iced tea to me is a little bit more smoky looking. This, I think, is a little more honeyburst. And I got this color because it reminds me of the Jimmy Page kind of number 1 and number 2. If you were like me growing up, watching your worn Betamax copy of The Song Remains the Same, and that image of Jimmy Page playing the Les Paul is burned into your brain, and you always wanted one of these. So that's what attracted me to this color. This Les Paul 1959 this newer version is supposed to kind of be an update of the older one with the Kalamazoo headstock, which kind of came in aged dark burst and aged dark cherry. It also had like the store exclusive colors like lemon burst and southern fade. And those are retailing at $9.99, but these days you can find those for pretty cheap. Like the Lemon Burst is often at like $750 on Musician's Friend or Guitar Center. And apparently sometimes they go down to like $6.99. I have seen them in store for like $5.99, so that is a pretty good deal for those. We'll see. Is this $12.99 hike up to this price? Is it worth it? And what are the differences with the old one, with the older Kalamazoo 1959? We're going to take a look at that. I have a Greeny too that we can take a look at. So compare and contrast and see. You may be wondering. You may be deciding between this one and the Greeny. So we're going to do another deep dive session as always. And let's not waste any time here, and let's get right to it. Big selling point of these high-end Epiphones, of course, is it comes with the lovely case with the Epiphone Inspired by Gibson logo. One of the first things that stands out is this VOS Vintage Original Sheen finish. It's still polyurethane, not to be confused with the Nitro version VOS that Gibson uses. The hard-to-miss open book Gibson style headstock, of course. Note the more pronounced white ply around the truss rod cover. Gives it more of a Gibson style. Still has the 3 screws, however. Indian Laurel fretboard. I don't think Epiphone's going to get away from that anytime soon. And like the Greeny, it has mother of pearl trapezoid inlays, very shiny. And here are the Gibson custom buckers, which actually cost $489 if you buy this set of pickups separately. So that's where a lot of the cost is going, I imagine. And like the Greeny, it has the new thin post ABR1 style bridge, and it actually has a Gibson stop tail bar, not a Epiphone locking style stop tail bar. They call it the Gibson Historic Reissue stop bar. We'll take a look at that. And I much prefer the darker tone on the case interior, much better than the Pepto-Bismol pink of the old one. The back side here, we have the Epiphone Inspired by Gibson custom logo on the control cover. And like the Greeny, the backside is actually very, very nice. It shows very nice grain on the backside and up the neck. Profile is 1959 rounded medium C profile neck. Classic style Epiphone Deluxe tuners and the new IGC symbol. Interestingly, my Greeny has the just IGC on the back, so I guess they're kind of trying a new thing. A closer inspection on the back of my neck shows this kind of small blemish here. I can't feel it when I rub it, but it's just kind of an annoying, typical Epiphone QC thing. Not enough to make me return it, and I probably won't even fix it. I could buff it out, but I can't feel it, and it'll probably just gloss up the neck, which I really don't want to do. Other typical Epiphone QC issues that I'm having with this guitar is the sharp fret ends. And it's not even sharp fret ends, it's like burrs at the end of the frets. So something you may find on a $600 Epiphone, but certainly something you don't want to find on a $1,300 Epiphone. Alright, into the real nerdy stuff here. We see the long neck tenon. Very nice maple cap there. I'm assuming that's a very thin veneer. The spec says there's a veneer. Kind of hard to see though. I'm not really seeing the two body split pattern in the cap, so probably it is a veneer. And here we have the custom buckers, of course, and then the 1959 LP Les Paul SDD standard ITV, I guess it is Ice-T VOS finish. Same bridge that was introduced with the Greeny. This is the special ABR1 bridge with the thin bridge posts that we see over here. Kind of Gibson-like, but we still see the screwdriver slot there. And then here we have the Gibson Historic Reissue stop bar. So that's something new and special for this guitar. It's very lightweight, made out of aluminum, and it doesn't lock, of course, like the Epiphone bar. But a Gibson stop bar is like a $50, $60 value. Here we have the CTS pots as expected and the Mallory caps. The route work in this cavity is actually a lot cleaner than in my Greeny, so that's kind of nice. And here we have the three-way switchcraft switch. So here we have a side-by-side with my Epiphone Joe Bonamassa Lazarus. The Lazarus is actually spec-wise exactly the same as the 1959 standard with the Kalamazoo headstock. The only difference is it has a one-piece neck, but it has the burst buckers and the same hardware. And between these two, I still really like the Bonamassa top way better than the new 1959. It's way more unique and less boilerplate. You could always get a favorite bridge, you could always change the pickups. So at the end of the day, you know, it's really about the headstock. Here's a side-by-side with the Epiphone Greeny. They both share the new ABR1 style thin post bridge, but the new 1959 has the Gibson branded stop bar, while the Greeny has the Epiphone locking stop bar. So the Greeny buckers are actually about $300 if you buy them separately. Same as the burst buckers in the Lazarus and the regular 1959, about $300. So the custom buckers in the new 1959 is a little bit more. Now there's a lot of talk about the new vintage original sheen finish, the VOS finish on the new 1959s. It's supposed to feel a lot like nitro, but I gotta be honest, I do not feel a heck of a lot of difference between VOS and the aged gloss finish on the Greeny and the Lazarus. You know, if I put on blindfolds and I touch and feel each guitar, rub them, you know, I won't be able to tell you which one's which. But if you put a gun to my head, I'll probably say that the new 1959 VOS finish has just a slight texture added to it. But at the end of the day, it's no different from, like, say, the Prophecy series of Epiphone, the matte satin feel. Custom buckers DC resistance readings, 7.88 in the treble, middle position 3.95, and in the neck pickup we have 7.94. Burst buckers comparison, 8.33 in the treble, 4.06 in the middle position, and in the neck pickup we have a 7.91. And in the Greeny buckers we have 8.55 in the bridge, 4.17 in the middle, and in the neck pickup we have an 8.14. Alright, so final thoughts on the new Epiphone 1959 Les Paul. You know, the custom buckers sound awesome. Especially the neck position one sounds really great. But at the end of the day, you know, so did the burst buckers on the regular 1959/Lazarus, and the Greeny buckers on the Greeny sounded awesome. So if you have a Greeny and you already have a 1959, you know, lemon burst or whatever, is it worth picking up another one? I don't think so. I don't think it's worth getting this, you know, so-called upgraded version. You know, and at the end of the day, these are also gonna get cheaper as the year goes on. That's the thing with Epiphone, you know. Epiphone really, you know, they go after those day one folks who, you know, like me, who bought the, you know, Greeny for $1,500, you know, right on the day one when it came out. And you know, I bought this day one, so to speak, at $12.99, and these are going to go down in price. I already saw the Greeny like at $11.99, and I've already seen this, the 1959 new version on Reverb. Some people have it for 18 to 20% off, so they're already getting knocked down, right? So, you know, Epiphone, it's for people who have patience. It really pays off because a year or two, he's going to become pretty affordable in some ways compared to how it is now. You know, is it time to jump and get one of these? I don't really think so. Just wait around and see how it goes, especially in this guitar market where things are kind of looking kind of weird right now. You know, a lot of glut in the used market, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to play this one out as always, but good to have you again. And we will, I got some other videos in the pipeline, so I'll be catching up with you soon.